All right, good evening, Litchfield. Welcome to the May 4th Litchfield Conservation Commission meeting. Call this meeting to order at 6:33 p.m. So I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. Ms. Plansky, can you take us through the roll call, please?
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mr. Mazigian.
Here.
Mr. Lynch.
Here.
Diane Plansky is present. Mr. Brennan.
Here.
Mr. Frederick.
Here.
And Ms. McGideon. Here.
All right.
We are missing member Croto,
We are missing member Croto.
but we have
Right.
a,
Just seeing if someone's coming in. So we have an open slot tonight. So Mr. French, would you like to fill the open
Yes.
slot? Excellent. All right, public input related to non-agenda items. Seeing that there's nobody in the audience, we will go on to the next item, which is new business, wetlands exception, and buffer overview. So, one thing we wanted to talk about, just maybe spend 5 minutes on it, is one of the key things with the Conservation Commission, and what we saw a lot last year, and this is for new members, which I'm a new member too, is we had a lot of folks come in with development plans that sat before us, and we needed to provide input to the zoning board on those plans. And I just wanted to talk and have Joan talk briefly about why those folks come in here and what our responsibilities are. The long and the short of it, there's several reasons why a developer or an individual homeowner would come into the Conservation Commission. One of the main ones is to obtain a wetlands exception permit. And Joan, would you walk us through what would trigger a wetlands exception?
Sure. Now, this is section 1200 of the zoning, so if they need to get a special exception, they go to the ZBA. The ZBA wants input from us. So, if they seek a special exception under 1208, they have to meet the criteria in section 1200. So this is important, because then they have to meet the purpose and intent of the Wetlands Conservation District in the beginning here. So if they were into, I have one example, an old example. If they wanted to build and they were into to build, first of all, they have to be 75 feet, the structure has to be 75 feet away from the wetlands, and they have to leave a 50-foot from the wetlands undisturbed buffer. So if they were into any of that footage, they would have to get a special exception. Other big thing to remember is that would be 50 feet undisturbed from a regular wetland. Now, if you had a basin marsh, a fen, a bog, or a vernal pool, you have to keep 200 feet away from those. We haven't ever run across that yet, but we do have that 200-foot stipulation. Usually we get they're into the 75-foot. We really don't want them into the 50-foot because, and it spells out in here why they should stay. It has the definition of a buffer.
So, Joan, sorry to
Naturally,
interrupt. So the definition of a pool is that the water is in there all year round?
No, no, it can be defined as a wetland. So now, if a person comes in and they have a house on a lot, and we can obviously see that there's a wetland there from the plan, we have them do a wetland delineation by a certified scientist to actually pinpoint where the wetland is. It's not just standing water, as we saw at BAE, that you can come back into what looks to us like dry land, but the soils test as wetland soil. Wetland hydrology and vegetation can cause it to be a wetland.
Yeah, I was asking more of the definition between like, where the intermittent streams or whatever go through, where that's a wetland, but you said like a vernal pool or a few others have a larger
bigger
buffer.
And those would we can't just go out, I can pretty much eyeball where there'd be a vernal pool, but they have to get a soil scientist to say, yes, this is a vernal pool, and then they have to have a 200-foot buffer. And that was the case over on a lot that we actually own now off of Cutler Road.
So a good example of this, Matt, is recent one are the pickleball courts. So there's a wetland that kind of ran behind where the pickleball courts are. And they had to go, Recreation had to get a wetland scientist in here and a surveyor. The wetland scientist marked out the wetlands, and then the surveyor surveyed the wetlands, and then they presented a map to us with the wetlands on it, with the buffer, like you see on the map, the 50-foot buffer
Yeah.
on that, and then the 75-foot buffer as well. And not, so 75 feet from the wetland, not 75 feet from the 50-foot.
Right,
which is
75 feet from
50
wetland.
and 75.
Right.
And so as Joan mentioned, within the 75-foot, they're not supposed to have any structures. And within the 50-foot, supposed to be a non-disturb, but every subdivision that comes in that's of any size in Litchfield has a wetland impact. So it's really up to us to make sure that they're minimizing that as much as possible.
then-
Take a look at all the Joan, all the Eversource ones. We had
Yeah.
Mel's that has a crossing last year that is putting in parking lot. We had a wetland impact up at the gas station. Just about every single one does. So it's our job really to make sure that they're minimizing those. So I wanted to make sure that there's, in the portal, I put a link to what Joan is talking about. It's not a bad read just to kind of get familiar with it.
And then after things are built, Jeff has been good about this too, that they should, on the buffer, I have these signs to sell them. Protected wetland buffer, do not disturb. And they should put these like every 25 feet. So, that's that. The big thing is the 50-foot buffer, that really should stay undisturbed.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, the only question, and Fred had asked me about this, now, the one for BAE, it's just all of a sudden kind of popped up, as far as where we're concerned. We knew about it a week ahead of time?
Well, they're coming in June for a presentation. We don't have to do a letter yet
Yeah.
until they do the presentation.
But is there a way that the planning board could give us a little bit more advanced warning or heads up, or?
They haven't, in that case, they haven't gone to the planning board yet. That won't go till July to the planning board. In June, our meeting in June, they're gonna come in with their whole presentation, and then we should write some kind of letter to the ZBA after that.
Oh, so we'll probably have to go back and look at BAE again, right?
No.
No,
Necessarily.
they'll do a very comprehensive,
No, the only question I have is if the planning board could give us some sort of advance notice instead of,
It was a quick notice, and it ended up working out.
well, that was only because we wanted to get out there,
Before it snowed?
yeah.
Or before,
The timing was good to get out there to do a site walk before
Yeah,
things
before they
started
started
growing.
doing anything, yeah.
so that's my only comment.
And the planning board, normally, they came in conceptual in the planning board, but normally, once the applicant comes in, then the planning board will notify you.
But
Because we had a rep from the planning board there as well, Kate was there.
Yeah.
She's the co-chair,
and
or
our
vice chair.
involvement would be on land that they are going to probably subdivide, right? That's
Or
where
a site plan,
site plan, or, this even applies to if you're putting a deck on your house.
Yeah, it
And
applies
you're
to
within,
existing.
we had one last fall. Someone was putting a deck on their house, and they just skirted that 75 feet.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Or a
And
pool.
Just barely, by like a foot or something like that.
A
And,
pool.
we just make sure that we're doing our due diligence.
Okay, no,
We don't, like Fred, we don't give our thumbs up or thumbs down on any project at all. We don't have that
Right,
authority. We
authority.
only provide input to the zoning board.
I was just thinking that we should have a tickler file or something like that, that notify us that this is coming down the pike, and it didn't really, I
Yeah,
didn't really see anything.
that was a quick hitting one.
Okay,
And I
whatever.
think it'll work out in our benefit because we were able to go out there probably during the wettest
Yeah.
time.
And the
Gotcha.
planning board probably go out, planning board was only one member there, so they might go out again, so
That was their sidewalk, right?
Yeah, I
Well,
think
it
we
was-
just tagged along.
both of ours, yeah.
Okay.
Question was on the vernal pool. The vernal pool is not, it can be dry as a bone. Okay, but it's because of, it's not just the vegetation, it's not always that, it's the type of critters that are in that pool.
Well, to prove it to be a vernal pool, right, you have to indicate a species.
That's correct,
To prove it to be
okay.
a vernal pool.
It's all about critters.
Okay, that's that. All right, old business. Harry, quick fishing derby update.
I'm gonna time you. Okay, go, Harry.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Thank you.
Anything major?
The fish was delivered on Wednesday,
State fish or the,
Pardon?
which fish, the state fish or
the one, the fish that we
Fishing game.
bought was delivered on Wednesday. I called and they said that, the hatchery fish, the state will deliver theirs on Friday, so. I picked up the bait today, so I have that.
Are we gonna distribute that bait?
Pardon?
It's just on the table.
Are you gonna use little cups like we did
Yeah,
last
I
year?
already have,
'Cause they come-
I've already bought cups.
I did
and
it,
I-
I did it.
You know, I know, and
That's a lot.
I've got gloves again. Now,
I didn't
what
use
we're,
gloves.
we're not doing is we're not selling the bait,
No.
but if people come up to us and say, gee, I don't have any bait,
Donate.
we'll donate it, you know. Did I word that wrong?
You got
Yeah,
it.
no, I'm
Okay.
confused.
how much bait?
So
how
we
many-
are donating the bait to everybody. Everybody's gonna be able to have a couple of worms. We're gonna send them off with that.
Only if they request it.
Well, how many cups of bait, how many cups of worms did you get?
Well, I was only gonna buy 20, but they offered me such a deal, so I bought 4 extra,
Oh, you'll have
How many
plenty.
did we get last year?
about 25.
Okay. That was
The
plenty
trout
last
worms
year.
or dillies?
They're
or-
trout worms, they're all trout
So there's like
worms.
24 in the package?
Yeah,
They're 20
15,
to a package.
20?
And I think what we did is we like, well,
I
actually
picked up as
Diane
many
did
as I
it.
could take
Yeah, I
and
think
put
you
it
just
in
did a handful and,
But
They can always come back and get some more. I mean.
you know, if they,
I think Joan's gonna do it this
the bait's available
be there.
to anybody who's asking for it, let's put it that way,
You need bait, you got bait.
Yep,
okay?
and you should
So-
fish or cut it.
Bring a shovel too, just in
Pardon?
case. There's plenty of land to dig for worms.
I
Yeah,
don't think we want to
okay.
be digging through that.
No,
No digging in our conservation
Right, we're
land.
going off the rails here. Stay focused, people,
You have
stay
it in the-
focused. Harry,
So-
keep going.
I guess the only, let's see, the fish, like I said, the final delivery will be on Friday. I've got the bait, I've got the loaner rods, I've got the prizes. I may end up making 2 trips down there to I'll load as much as I can in the vehicle. And the only other thing is that I'm gonna ask everybody to try to be there at 7, only because we're gonna start at 8. And there's the canopies to set up, the tables to set up, there's a number of things to do. So,
All right.
and,
Harry, I'll go get the tables tomorrow, so I'll have those ready to go.
Yeah, the
How many
tables and
did-
chairs.
Did you need?
we need 3 tables and maybe 4, 5 chairs at the most.
5 chairs. We'll see how tomorrow goes at work. I might jump on the tractor and just give a quick cut of where the community garden is. It's not
Okay.
long, but it's long enough where,
Yeah,
should probably check that field too, just to make sure it's not
Soupy.
sinking.
Yeah.
Well, the
Except
field-
for hard
Ground
field,
hole.
I think we should be fine.
Groundhog
There's
hole.
Yeah.
very few.
That's a dry spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
The field next to us, Wilson Farm, I was worried about the same thing, so I was able to, I drove on it, and it's good and solid,
Okay.
so.
Good to hear.
If,
Very nice if you come.
God willing, tomorrow, I'll be putting up some, like, fishing derby parking signs to make people aware of that, so,
Do
you
we need a
know.
little pop-up canopy? Do we have one?
Yeah,
of
I
those?
already have, Jefftown, donated his canopy again. So, and we have measuring, so there'll be enough things to do for everybody, you know. If you don't like giving out worms, I could always use you, no, I'm serious.
I mean,
I could use you registering kids, there'll be the monitoring, there'll be trying to help kids unhook their fish, you know.
and
Yeah.
so I had somebody help, my granddaughters are coming down for it, and I had somebody help get like the bobbers on them and the hooks and everything, so that we're arriving ready
So-
to fish. More people that can do that, but there should,
Yeah,
I did mention that there probably are some
It's
people
a
that.
side
could help.
issue, yeah, it's a side issue. I got the calls from Jason, but I also got a call through Jeff Town's wife, and she wanted to know why we don't have any concessions available.
Probably because she didn't bake.
Fried fish.
So,
Well, the Girl Scouts used to,
Actually, you know what?
used to
Last
set
year-
that up.
Last year, Judy brought water. I don't know whether that was for everybody
Yeah,
or,
we'll check that out.
Yeah,
Last year we had the donut
the only
guys.
thing last year too is that what we thought was going to happen is that people were gonna take the fish home. And I was like very surprised that I didn't even, I don't know, Diane, if you had heard anything. But I didn't hear of anybody wanting to take their fish home.
no, I agree.
So,
To people
we
not
weren't
know how
supposed to
clean
catch
fish,
and
should we
rele-
set up a little cleaning
Pardon?
station?
I don't think we were supposed to catch and release either. Is that correct?
well,
They don't want
They
them.
don't like
Listen,
you don't have a choice. If they're not gonna take them home, then you have to do catch and release,
Yeah, what was that?
if
I
you
thought we had
can.
a problem with that last year. They didn't want us to do that.
No
And
problem with it?
Yeah, they'll-
unfortunately, the way everybody,
Raccoons will go.
the kids catch the fish, when they
Circle
do
play.
release them,
They're dead.
the raccoons and the possums and everybody will have a
We're
big
feeding.
feast, so.
I don't think that's a problem.
I could set up a little cleaning session too, station. If,
That'd be
You
cool.
know, someone mentioned, you know, are we gonna have
You could do
an
like a how to clean
availability
a
for
fish.
cleaning? And my answer was no, but I said, if you wanna take the fish home, contact me. Well, actually, I'll contact you.
I'll just set up something on the back of my truck.
Okay.
if you want.
That'd
I
be
do
kinda
have,
cool.
I do have some plastic bags that we can pass out to people that could, they wanna take fish home, cleaned or uncleaned, that's available, so,
All right,
Kinda cool
so,
if they took it home and cooked it.
you know, I've
I
got,
like the idea, what he's saying. Set up a truck and help them.
Okay.
I've got
Show 'em how to
name
do it.
tags, I've got pens,
Is there anything else you need?
at this point, I don't think so.
Okay.
Manpower, that's what.
7 o'clock.
be there. So Diane, tell the people to show up.
Show up. 7 o'clock to help set up, and 8 o'clock to fish, and it should be really fun.
Oh, the one thing about the Boulder Dam that was created, one of the things that we have to do is we have to remove that the same day,
No problem.
okay?
Remove the what? The
boulder.
netting?
We put our,
Yeah, the
yeah,
boulder
put netting
dam.
up there.
Um,
We'll jump in. We'll be good.
yeah, it has to be removed. The one up near the culvert has to be removed, and the one that you guys are working on. Well, the good thing is that you came up with a solution for next year.
Yep.
And that was that different fencing.
Snow fence.
Yeah, the Snowfin seems to be more rugged than what I was using, but that's what you learn.
Okay.
All right, Harry did a good job. Everything is like lined up perfectly. Appreciate that.
I've got the expenses, I've got them just out of everybody's information. As of today, looks like we spent, between the two groups, about $800.
All right.
That's with the fish?
Pardon?
That's with the fish.
That's with the fish.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, the fish took up about half of it,
Yeah.
or almost 3/4 of it, so. I am still trying to get a hold of Wilson Farm and talk to them about that retention pond,
For next year?
for next year, and, you know,
Somebody's already
We got
fishing.
a, we got a while.
we'll see, you know, I don't, definitely can't make any kind of commitments, or, in the pond, it may not be suitable, so,
Well, let's get
Get
through.
through this
Yeah.
year, right.
so, anyway.
So Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m., fishing derby, kids up to 15 years old, come on down.
It's gonna be a blast. It's
Route
really
3A cleanup, are we good on the fishing derby?
Good on it.
Yeah, as far as,
So, Route 3A cleanup, what are you thinking, Joan? Wanted to get that done before the Memorial Day parade, which only gives us a couple weekends, right?
I think the road is probably too busy in the evening to do it. I mean, it's light enough, but I don't think that it's not healthy to do it in the evening with the traffic.
At the weekends, that's about it.
The 13th, I'm still planning on the bird ID walk at Morris Falls, but I don't have to be there for cleanup if you guys want to do cleanup.
13th is next week, and I'm not gonna be around. on
Okay.
Next weekend.
I leave the 14th, but I'm gonna be really busy the 13th. The weekend after that, the 20th.
Let's do the 20th.
Okay, I probably.
yeah, it ought to be 85 degrees.
May, remember, this is the month that says May.
Right.
It may be snow, it may be rain, it may be hot, and it may be cold. That's why it's May.
That's why it's
So,
May.
May 20th at 9 o'clock? Is that
Okay.
the time we start, 9 or 8:30?
You good with that?
I'm good with 9.
Okay.
Yep, I can be there
I might not be around. I'll pick up
That's
the
Saturday.
Saturday.
It's a
You have,
Saturday.
you have the signs at the,
I went into the shed, I have the signs from last cleanup, Ms. Plansky, but
I picked
in-
them up,
in-
but somebody else was supposed to return them.
in developing story here, I went into the shed to find the fishing derby signs, and there were additional litter cleanup signs in there, in the
So,
orange bags.
2 years we haven't
From
returned
probably
our
2
signs.
years ago.
Hello,
In
Ms.
addition to
McGibbon.
that, there was a whole big box of the blue bags.
now
Right, so
that,
we don't have to go
those,
pick up anything.
those bags disintegrate if they're getting the sun, so they must, they'd be
though.
okay. They were in the
They were in a box inside the
the
shed.
shed
They,
here.
they need the sun to break down, so if they're in the shed, they should be okay.
Oh, that's it,
Yeah,
okay.
they do.
Didn't know
Oh, so
that.
That's why you put poop in those.
Okay, so we don't have to pick up anything. Good.
I don't think we have to pick up anything.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
check this weekend just to make sure, but I
Okay.
put them on the table or on the trailer in the fire station. All right, so we are good for what?
Are the, are the blue bags here?
Yes.
This shed, okay.
They're here. I'm gonna just verify how many there are,
Okay.
but it looked like a full
Yeah,
box of them.
probably. Okay,
So that's 5:20, did we say?
5:20
5:20.
at
9
9 o'clock.
a.m.
Yep.
All right, cool. The next item under old business, the goal list. So let me see if I can call this up on the screen. So we've been talking about this for a few months and goals for 2023, and we probably had a few sessions where people were throwing things out. I put them all on this big list up here. A lot of these we've already done already, so we kind of check them off, but I think at the end, it'd be nice at the end of the year, we check off as many as we can. Maybe give a report to the Board of Selectmen, include this stuff in the town report. So I basically got 9 things, I'll just read through them really quickly. Property maintenance, inspect key properties on a monthly basis and address any maintenance issues, we're pretty much doing that anyway. community outreach, hold the fishing derby would be number one. And number two, try to do one more community event throughout the year. And Joan was thinking about the bird watching. And we might be able to do, I still want to do a photography
Yeah.
type of class. I think that would be kind of
Should get Amy
interesting.
Hinton in here and help with that. She's amazing.
Or that guy
The
Jay
new
that
guy.
was here.
Oh, yeah, Jay too.
Get him
Yeah, he was good.
in. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Item number 3 was improve properties per the land management plan, which is the big map that we laid out on the table, and we said we gotta do this here, there, and everywhere. And that includes finishing up that new trail at Moore's Falls, which is cut, but I think we just gotta probably go over it a few more times. Remove the trouble trees at the river access, and then continue the stuff that we're doing at the muster field, just to kinda clean that up. And that's what we had there. Number 4, conservation planning. Review land preservation strategy, the one that we set last year, and just take a look at it and see if we need to change it at all. Keep taking a look at properties of interest, communicate with landowners. So we gotta make sure that we send out cards and
Letters and
notification
cards,
letters
yeah.
and things like. So we've done that a few times, but we,
You need to probably send them out, Christmas cards too.
bylaw review, probably should do that in June. Take a,
Go up
we,
that.
we do have bylaws, and I think Fred, I don't know if you've ever read them, Matt,
No.
either. Maybe take a look at those,
Okay.
just to,
Yeah.
on a yearly basis. And then long-term goals in here. Merrimack River Bank stabilization, I put that in there. Cause over at the muster field, it's undercutting the bank quite a bit. And there are those ARM funds that are available. And I don't know, long-term goal to see if, I don't know if there's any riprap we could,
Did you talk to Lou about that on the sidewalk?
I did. And he said he's done them before. And I said, I asked him if next time you're in town, just go take a look and let us know what it would take to, if we get ARM funds, we need a design, and he's an engineer, so we'd have to have a design. If you ever go to the muster field, look over the edge, right in the center. It's really undercut there,
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Like south of the kiosk?
North of the kiosk,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
where the chairs are,
Yeah,
right there.
And also south on the higher part with the trail that goes up to the field in the back.
right.
Top of that bank is coming down too. But that's because of the direction of the river, as you all know. Hits right there.
It does.
That's
Comes around
why
the corner and.
we lose Litchfield every year. Okay, basically, it's a erosion pot. A little bit each year.
Inch by inch.
Yep.
And then Mr. French was talking about maybe a long-term thing is some sort of,
Do something with the field.
yeah, with one of the fields, I don't know, a tree farm,
Wildflowers,
plantings, butterfly
open for
garden.
discussion
What field were you thinking?
by Morris Falls.
Oh, yeah,
And rather than mow it, put
Yeah.
something in there that good for the wildlife and
yeah.
Very low.
Yeah,
low maintenance.
Very low, under the power lines.
Low under the pollen, you gotta be
Low
low.
under the power
Yeah.
lines.
How do you feel about getting involved in the community garden with me? I really need help.
she does.
Really?
Yeah, he's headed the other way.
With the community garden.
Yes,
All right.
both need you for that one too. My life has just been crazy this year, and I just haven't.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Will you help me?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I need another person.
So I did add 3 other ones. See if we can visit a conservation commission meeting in a neighboring town. I did one last year in Merrimack. I'd go to Londonderry's.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I'd go to Hudson's.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, just to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
See if we can get another member. And then lastly, get paperwork in order on the community garden, which is done, and get 1 plot planted. Diane, by the
I
end
can
of
do
the
it.
summer.
I can do it.
One
You just get a
pumpkin.
rototiller and get one.
Rototill it yourself. Make
I
it,
think we bought a tractor, didn't we?
we did, and we have the
got a
pink house over
rototiller?
here, has a rototiller. He'll
It
rot-
does have a
Yeah.
rotor?
No,
And I recruited someone help.
Yeah.
So I knew to ask for help.
Oh, and the other long-term goal, the file cabinet. I started cleaning the
Oh,
file.
I agree.
And it's actually easier to do by myself. I took so far, just out of one drawer, this much,
Out.
pitched it.
We need new files for there, we need the
Well, the
structure to
problem
go
with
in it.
the top drawer is it doesn't have a back, so you just put the stuff in and it goes, falls
Right,
over.
so we need
I
to
added
fix that
that.
too, yeah, absolutely add that, because that's something that,
All right, I
Now
added,
that list is on the portal.
yep.
What's it under?
It is, I'll send you the link.
Okay,
I can't remember the directory that it's in.
okay.
All right, cool on that. Does anything to add?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Another fishing derby.
the invasive,
oh,
lecture.
bittersweet, yes. I requested that
Yep.
he do that.
So I would put that under, Harry. Hold one other community event, bird watching, property hike, subject talk, etc.
Even though he puts this on this list, doesn't mean that you can't go ahead and do it within the next 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whenever you want to do it.
Okay, yeah, but I'm gonna need some help because trying to find, it's a, presentation, so they need a screen and,
Who are you gonna
Okay.
get, who are you gonna,
Pardon?
Cooperative extension.
yeah, the cooperative, yeah,
well, if they have a,
Let's add that
Laptop.
to new business, we'll talk
Put
about
right
that
up on
after
there.
we're done with this. We'll
Fine.
add this to member input.
okay.
We'll talk about it right after he's done with this part. The goal list,
I'm gonna put that,
we'll get it done, it's gonna be a good one.
I've got a little projector and stuff, so. in this
Good.
meeting.
Kevin, anything you wanna see get done? That's not
No,
on
I
this
think
list?
you guys are jumping on everything there is.
If we could
Appreciate
get
it.
3/4 of these things done, then that's good. You get stretch goals. That's what they call them. Okay, next on the agenda, other business, property checks and property maintenance. Anybody take any walks this month?
Yeah, we went down to, Nessaket.
Many times.
Parker Park does need some, bridge work, but I think it's good enough for a mile.
Actually, in the corner, after everything settles down, in the corner, we need to go in and actually cut down some tree limbs that have actually fallen. And,
Okay.
that needs to be cleaned up.
When you mean the corner, do you mean up by 3A where? it got-
No,
or-
where we're gonna set the canopy, that curve right behind the
That's
canopy,
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
that tree's
Where
been
the culvert
standing up.
is.
Yeah, that tree's been standing up for years, and then finally it just,
There's a dead pine tree there too.
well, yeah, there's the dead pine tree on the side, but that's, I think, a little bit too big for us to handle.
Oh, we got a little tractor.
But there is those branches that are on the corner, and Fred suggested maybe getting in there and trying to cut down some of the bittersweet,
Yep.
You're growing fast.
but that definitely needs some cleanup.
All right. That's
Actually, the trail, other than the roots,
Okay.
coming up because of the ground washing out, the trail is, until you get to whoever owns the other part,
Yeah.
Wilmington.
was pretty good, right? Don't you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, the trail's in
Surprising.
decent shape.
Yeah.
Anybody get to Moore's Falls at all?
yeah, it's pretty good shape. I went to the Lonely Fort Trail, Matt's Lonely Fort Trail, it's got a couple small trees down over the trail, but nothing that you just couldn't step over.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at
Except
that
that's
one.
supposed to be our handicap access.
I know, I was thinking that when I was out there, it's not gonna be,
I'll be able to take the
Possible.
mower out there soon and
you couldn't, I don't think you get the mower out. Which mower?
the push one, the DR.
DR?
We did before. We-
Well, the brush is okay, it's just these, like, pine trees that are like that big across the trail.
Oh, that fall, the
Pick
limbs,
those up and.
the limbs and stuff fall down?
No, just the trees, it just, a little chainsaw action would be,
Okay.
Or you can pick 'em up and
We
just
got
put 'em
one.
on the side.
Yep.
Okay,
I've been down the river access a couple times. Been at the muster field several times. It's in pretty good shape, so.
you had a big group there.
Yep.
Was that, yeah.
I wanted to go to the river access, but it was too darn cold to see if the benches were completely covered. with the
They were
water.
underwater for a little while.
The top of them even?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it. They got washed.
River's moving fast.
Those 4 feet down, cemented them 4 feet down, so
Well, that's good.
I don't think they're going anywhere, hopefully.
There's enough weight to have the cement and
Well, I
whatnot.
did pick up some trash at Morris Falls. It wasn't too bad, like half a bag of stuff that just washed down.
I finished cutting Matt and I were working on cutting the scrub at the river access, not at the property on the river access, right on 3A. I got to the end on that. I went the next day. The problem is all the branches are down there.
Yeah.
We gotta get rid of them somehow.
How can you get in there?
Just drive in the field.
That's allowed?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because it's gonna
We
be
can do
plowed.
whatever we want.
Remember, it's town land, plus it's all gonna be plowed,
Before,
okay?
So-
Where the limbs are now, that
With a
cut,
pile of brush.
it's all plowed ground.
Yeah, the plowing actually, there's a little bit of buffer before where they plow it and where all the
Okay,
stuff is.
why couldn't you
We're
just
not
reach in
interfering.
from 3A and get it? Is it too?
Yep.
yeah, you can.
I know a guy who has a chipper in town. The town does.
Oh, yeah, the town does?
You already tried that, didn't you?
We could. Yeah, well, there's not,
It's
I'm
probably not that
debating
much to
if it's
If
chip.
it's worth it.
chippable or, like, we gotta get it out of there. I'm
That's
debating
chip-
if
that's
it's
definitely-
chippable or if we
Yes.
just drag
Probably
it.
just a couple.
That's chippable, you
trailer
got that.
loads.
Okay.
That's not big stuff.
But it's,
No.
right, but why couldn't you just throw it on the trailer? We have the trailer, right? And
Do that, or
take-
you chip it and put it along the bank,
Yeah,
the road bank. You know,
Yeah.
cut down the grass and everything else.
Yeah.
As you all know, the state used to put up snow fence.
and they
They
don't.
stopped doing the snow fence because the brush was going along the side of the road.
Yeah,
Till recently, somebody started cutting that down,
I noticed that.
okay?
Who's cutting it? You?
I have no idea. But I do like
The
it.
problem is we didn't know what we were cutting. We started to identify it because
it's
it's,
you
it's
guys?
all invasive. Oh, that was on the plan. It's just been all
Oh,
grown over.
whatever.
Bittersweet is coming up through there. And then the highway department's is getting one of these little rigs that,
Yep, the roller cutter.
what do you call it?
It's a roller cut, it's the barrel
Yeah.
cut, they go in and chip it down all the time.
And they'll be able to make sure that kind of stays down. Keep that. All right, cool on that. Member input,
Harry?
go from Joan.
Oh, okay.
Joan?
So can you, put on the nice, flyer you had from last year for the bird ID walk? And just put it on Facebook, because
Yep.
I'm thinking I'm gonna, maybe one person coming. 8 o'clock, May 13th, Morse Falls.
Okay.
Rain or shine,
Rain or shine, not
What
pouring
day-
rain.
What day was it? May 18th?
13th.
May 13th, okay.
lucky
8
13.
AM, okay. Moores Falls.
Okay.
And people
No
should bring
dogs.
binoculars if they have
If
them.
they have no dogs on the walk, please.
Yeah.
I actually have a
You had a
flyer
nice
done
flyer,
already.
yeah.
I'll just change the date. Anything else, Joan?
Nope.
Fred, anything?
No, I'll just follow up with Diane on, a plan on the community garden,
Thank you, Fred.
so I'll take that on.
Diane, anything?
I do not.
Kevin, anything?
No,
Harry?
Yeah, you do.
We can talk
Bittersweet.
about that
We
later.
talk about bittersweet.
We don't have enough info yet.
Yeah, we
got-
do. We just, he needs a place to have it. We can do it at the fire department, like we did the bear talk.
Well, can we have it in there?
Yeah.
I mean, I still have the address of the lady, well, I
Yes, sir.
sent you the email. I think I still have the email.
We could just check the dates that are available. and
Why
come
couldn't we
back
have
with
it
that.
here?
Hmm?
Why couldn't we have it here?
He says he needs more of a demonstration area. Remember how they, when we did the bear?
No,
talk?
they need a screen because it's all,
I got this one right here.
Yeah,
PowerPoint.
Oh,
I
They
forget the,
want public to be able to attend.
Oh,
yeah, they can
Okay.
attend, public can attend.
Attend here.
oh, yeah. Yep.
Might be more comfortable.
More
with the
comfortable than the
fire
fire station. The fire
I think
station's
we-
full of stuff.
I think we have to put this on the agenda and talk about it, because there is a cost item with this.
it's $100.
Yeah, $100.
That's a third of our,
I might be able to make a donation.
Yeah.
I think it's a great topic for us to cover because we want to be able to do it organically. And it's just running rampant in our community. I mean, we saw it even over
And
here.
if we can maybe do it closer to fall, because that's when everything's gonna start dying back, and from the
see it.
information that we've been given so far, that's its time to start attacking, bittersweet.
So I guess
Sometime
Harry,
next month.
yeah, if you can contact the person again and let us know how it works. Do we just book them a month ahead of time? How's that? If you can figure that out for us, that would be good, and then we can pick a date
Okay,
next month.
what location though?
I'd personally do it in the fire station, because you got the multiple
more room,
screens
yeah.
that are pointing into
Oh,
the audience.
I was
You're
thinking
thinking old.
old fire
Oh.
station. Oh, the
No, I
new
don't
fire
wanna
station.
I don't wanna have to go there if I don't have to. The new one is
The
comfortable.
new
Yeah,
one.
that's,
Okay, yeah, you're
Sweet.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
So-
much better.
yeah, that's, we did
The
a
new
beautiful
fire station?
presentation. Yeah.
New fire
Yep.
station. And you have to,
All right,
you have
well,
to
let me contact the people again, and I'll get hold of you guys, and we'll work something out, I
And be
guess.
ready for next month to have a presentation of what we wanna do and go forward. And I will make that donation.
I'll split it with you.
Make it.
Go
for-
team.
no, Well, next month? You don't wanna make it for June, do
Well, we're
you?
gonna talk about it, no, cause you said fall. So we're gonna talk about it in our June meeting.
Right.
And you'll have all the information.
Yeah,
And,
again.
yeah, so next
Okay.
month. Thanks, Sarah.
Matt, anything?
One thing, I don't know if the town has ever looked at like Trex, you know, the company that builds decking and stuff. If they have a program where if you collect like $500 worth of bags and like the bottle packaging wraps and stuff like that, they'll donate a bench.
$500 worth of,
500 pounds worth of like shopping bags, like you know, Hannaford bags and all sorts of plastic and
I
stuff.
get it.
Ah.
How do you get 500 pounds worth of
Well,
shopping bags?
it's a lot. That's why I
It's
wanted to
a
talk
lot,
about
yeah.
it. But I was thinking maybe if we did something like that, if we could set up like a trailer or
Collection.
something at the dump.
A collection point at the dump or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like sending your clothes up there, one of those boxes,
That's a cool idea,
you
man.
know?
Yeah,
That
so they'll
kind-
do 2 benches a year, I guess. I haven't looked into it in detail
They
and
donate 'em?
stuff, but say that again.
they would donate.
Yeah,
in
they
return.
donate nice sized benches, and we got several places in town
Yeah.
where we could use them, right? And
Yeah.
it's a good way to promote recycling and stuff.
I like it.
Send me the info, like the link, and I'll put it on the portal for next month.
Yeah,
and we can-
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
I just had
I
someone
don't
mention
know,
it.
maybe
to
we
me.
can put something at the dump, a trash can there, that put your
Or the
trash.
list.
trailer.
Trailer.
Trailer, we've got that.
Trailer's
It's gonna be open
But 500 pounds just seems like it might be like 100,000 bags, so
Yeah,
it
I
might
don't
not
know
be.
if
though.
a
But
it's
it's
cheap-
not
five
just,
trailer
it's not
loads.
just bags, right? It's bags
Yeah,
and.
bags and like a pallet wrap and any of the clear plastic stuff that you
Oh,
can't
okay.
recycle normally.
Water bottles, do water bottles count?
No, the water bottles I think is
Different.
Oh.
anything that you can't put in regular plastic recycling. I think is what they can
I see.
what they can take.
Okay,
Wow, that'd take a while.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna do
500
some
pounds.
math on that, just to make sure we have a
Take a
number.
while.
And where we're gonna store it until we
Yeah,
have
and I
500
gotta look into
pounds.
logistics, like where it has
Yeah.
to be delivered and stuff like that. But
Do we have enough population that we could come up with?
That's what I'm wondering. It could
Well, it
take
would be
10
interesting
years.
to know whether or not we could turn it into them like bi-monthly and they would keep track of it for us and stuff like that.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
gotta
that'd be
figure it
cool.
out.
Maybe we could set up a special bin.
Then we wouldn't
on
have to have
We
like
could go to Hannaford and
Just
steal
do
their
that.
bags.
pounds of plastic.
Yeah. Or if there's an old enclosed trailer or something we can use that can be filled up or something.
Programs like that are awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, they really
might be worth a
fit
shot.
our.
I had 2 things. I was driving to work today, and the tree guy, a Splump, how do you
A
pronounce?
Splenda,
Asplump?
Asplin.
a Splenda.
Was in the Morris Falls parking lot, and I pulled in, and I rolled down the window, and he goes, "Hey, I know you. They're putting in the trees in there next week, and then they're putting the trees along Albuquerque, too, Kevin, that we talked about next week." So just as a reminder, National Grid made us take out a bunch of trees that were underneath the power lines. And National Grid said that they would replace them in kind with trees in other locations.
And you pick those locations.
And yeah, yep. So those should go in next week.
So are any going at Morris Falls?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
What kind, do you know?
When do you plant pumpkins?
He picked them based on the soil
Good.
type, but I think they're,
National
that
Grid
little
did?
leaf lindens,
Find out tomorrow.
might have a maple in there.
'Cause you can see those, there's Japanese flower and crab apples that we have.
Beginning.
They're not getting very big.
Yeah, no, I think he's got, like, I know he's got a couple maples, so like, we'll find out.
Who picked them, National Grid guy?
The guy from
Splenda?
them,
Splenda? Okay,
who looked at the soil and figured out what was best for the soil.
good.
And then,
My place.
the other thing I just wanted to mention, so we did have that site walk last week, and I thought that went really good. I thought it was very well organized site walk. I thought the property was nice, wide open, and so I guess we'll see them in here next month. Let's see what else we got. Public input, anybody got any public input? Hearing none. We got one thing that's not
We have
on the
approval
agenda,
of
the
minutes.
minutes, the approval of the minutes.
Yeah,
So,
it's on the agenda.
It's under other business.
Oh.
Skipped it.
okay, Mr. Input, thank
See.
you. Approval of the minutes for April. Everybody have a chance to look at those.
I did. Joan, what are your corrections?
I didn't have any.
I was not present, but my partner Bobby was there for that one. He covered.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes that were
I'll
submitted
second
to
it.
us.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes by Diane, seconded by Harry. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, all those abstain.
I abstained, I was not present.
Motion carries 5-0-1. Mr. Hoffman is not here at the moment. Okay, good on that. Next meeting is June 1st, 2023. So we'll see you then. Public input, seeing there's nobody in the audience, we will go through, unless, you got any public input? Nope, hearing none, we'll close public input. And with that, we're ready to adjourn. We got 2 quick items. Quick
Quick.
items. No tangents, people. 2 quick items to discuss in non-public. So I'll entertain a motion to go in
Want to wait for Matt to come back?
No.
No, he'll be here.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we adjourn to non-public.
per,
RSA
Yep.
91-A3D.
consideration of the acquisition, sale, or lease of real property.
I'll second it.
Strange.
Okay, so we've got a motion by Diane. We have a second by
Joan?
Joan. Roll call vote. Joan?
Yes.
Just say yes.
I'm a yes.
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 Non-public.
Just say yes. Yes.
Okay, so we are going into non-public, Matt. You good on that?
Be married.
Oh, yes, all right. All right,
Can I ask a question
7:22.
why he can't be in our non-publics? He's in other non-publics.
hold on a second.
Not in selectmen.
So we are now adjourning the meeting for the night. If we only need to come out of this meeting to disperse the meeting, whatever.
Could you
Have a
shut the
good
door
evening,
on the way out,
Litchfield.
please?
No.